is Abdul Rahman. I'm a lecturer at a public university in Kenya. I deliver lectures in computing and informatics. In our last lesson, we actually discussed about the if-else-if statement. We have seen that the if-else-if statement actually takes what you call multiple conditions to check and evaluate what you call a Boolean expression. Today, we are going to start on a new topic and ask ourselves, what is a switch statement? And in that particular journey, we are going to look at the definition of a switch statement, the syntax, and finally, we are going to use up our Eclipse IDE actually to implement the same. So let us start and see what is actually a switch statement. So a switch statement allows a variable to be tested for equality against a list of value. So what we are saying, actually a switch statement actually allow a variable. So here you'll have got a variable to be tested against what you call up a list of values. So we'll have here a list of values, and the values themselves, these particular values, are called what you call up a case, and a variable being switched will be switched on is checked for each and every of this particular case. So this particular case actually must be either a literal or a constant. And also the switch expression must be one of these, can be actually a byte. It can actually be short data type, or it can be an integer data type, long data type, and enum, or basically it can be actually be a string. So for each case actually statement, we can have what you call up a break. However, this particular break, it is optional, and the case value can have what you call a default label also. So we have got a default label which is also optional on that particular area. So that one takes us to the syntax of what you call up a switch, and in that particular syntax, basically what we are talking about, it is a very simple one. We have the word switch, and what are we switching? We are either switching up a variable or an expression, and we'll have opening curly bracket, and lastly we'll have our closing curly bracket. So in between here we'll have got our case, the word case, which is very important, and then here we'll have up our value 1, and then we'll have full colon, and then you can have here a statement, and that particular statement must be terminated, and then if you so wish, you can have a break, which is optional, and then we'll have our case 2, which is case, and then we have our value 2, and then we'll have here a statement, and then here is optional, we can have a break, and then it will go on and on until we reach our case value n, and then we'll have our statement, and then you can have up our break, and then here we'll have the default label. So we'll have here the default, and then we'll have up our statement. So basically this is what it is, the syntax of a switch statement. So can we conceptualize the same and go back and see how it will look like when actually we are looking at a DFD? So under DFD, here we'll have up our start symbol, and in that particular start symbol we'll have our switch condition. So you'll have up our switch, and that particular switch, now it keeps on changing, checking if we have our condition 1 here, and that particular condition 1, it is true, then here we'll have up our statement, and we might have our break. And then if it is false, we'll look at condition 2, and this condition 2, actually if it is true, we are going to have our statement and we are going to have our break here. And we'll go on and on until we reach our condition n, and if it is true, we'll have our statement here and might have our break there. And then basically what will happen, and then finally we'll have our default here label, and we have our statement without a break. So all of this, when they're executed, any one of them, they go to the end. So basically this is how you can conceptualize actually our switch statement. So let us go to what you call Eclipse and try to make up the same onto that. So basically in Eclipse we are going actually to see 7 cases of the 7 week of a day. So actually to implement the same, what are we supposed to do? Basically I'll have 2 variable, int day, and give it up a value of 4. So that will be the 4th day, and basically I want to put them in a same line. So let us put them in a same line, and then I'll have my string week, and this string week, I'm not giving it up any value. I'll use those particular value on that particular area. So let us see onto that. So because of, okay, let's not put up in a same line. So here we'll have up actually our string week on that particular area. So from there I can have my switch now. So I'll have my switch, and into my switch, what am I switching? I'm switching up the days, and then I'll have my opening and closing curly bracket. So let us now keep on switching one by one and see actually what happens. So let us switch. The first part of our switch basically will be what? We'll have the word case. So in our case 1, what are we having? In our case 1, we are saying, basically, what are we saying? We are saying week, which we have already defined, should be actually equal to what we call Sunday, and terminate. After terminating, we should have our break, and then we'll keep on putting up our week until we go to week 7. So yes, keep on like that, and put on onto that week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, and finally my week 7. So here I'll have my week 2, here I'll have my week 3, and here I'll have my week 4, here I'll have my week 5, and here I'll have my week 6, and here I'll have my week 7. So I'll keep on changing all my weeks, so that will be actually Monday, and that will be Tuesday, and that will be Wednesday, and that will be Thursday, and that will be Friday, and that will be Saturday. So basically, these are the number of weeks I have here, and let us move on to those particular weeks. And then here I can have my default, and in that particular default, basically what I'll have it is actually week should be equals to maybe invalid week. So basically I'll say invalid week and I terminate. So basically after doing that, that one actually keeps us the end of our switch statement, and in that particular end of our switch statement, basically what do we have? After we have put up the end of our switch statement, basically now we can put up a system dot write. So basically here we can have what we have system, sorry for that, so here I'll have my system dot out dot println, and what am I supposed to print is actually I'm just printing up the week. So here I'm just printing up the week, and onto that particular end I finish up my code. So it's a very long code, and this particular code actually checks all these 8 options and then return. We can see that actually for us we put up here 4, so it's supposed to return actually Wednesday. So let us run this particular program, and actually it returns up Wednesday. If we change this and put, let's say, 100 as a value 100, when we actually run this particular program, it tells us invalid week. And if we put actually anything like 7, so if you run this particular program, actually it tells us actually it is a Saturday. So that one comes up to the end of this particular session. We have demonstrated our switch statement until onto our next session, whereby we are going to discuss the Java loops, and we are going to see different type of loops which are supported by Java. For now, I say thank you and bye.